Hello everyone, welcome back to MK Tuition Center. We have this question under graphs of functions and let's see how it is tackled. Okay, we have been given an x or y plane. Here we have 0, the y-axis and the x-axis. We have a curve that is cutting the y-axis here. It is cutting the x-axis at 2 points, and then we have the equation which is equal to x squared minus 6x plus 8, and we have been told to find the values of b and c and also the turning point. Now b and c are right here. The turning point is this point where the curve is making this full turn. Okay, the first one, b and c are lying on the x-axis. And we know that on the x-axis, the value of y is 0. So here, if you're looking for the value of y, you go to the y-axis. Which number is here? It's 0 for the y-axis. That is how it is. Okay. So it means that we're going to have the equation y equals to x squared minus 6x plus 8. On the x-axis, y is equal to 0. So we're going to have x squared minus 6x plus 8 equals to 0. So now when you have this, look at this. It is a quadratic. We have x raised to the power 2 and we expect to see two answers. It even makes sense because here, this curve is cutting the x-axis at 2 points. So we expect to see two answers. So we're going to solve this quadratic. You can use the formula method or even complete the square method. But in this case, we are going to factorize because it's paper one and we know it's supposed to have factors. Okay, let's see. So here we're going to find the product. So we have ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. The product is a times c. So here we have 1 and this is 8. So 1 times 8 to give us 8 for the product. The sum is b. So the sum is negative 6. And factors, we need to get two numbers. And in the sense that when you multiply them, you get 8. And when you add them, you get negative 6. So if you are still finding challenges when it comes to finding factors, please reach out to my inbox. I will give you video to guide you. Okay, so we're going to have negative 4 comma negative 2. So when you multiply negative 4 times negative 2, you're going to get positive 8, and when you're going to add these two, we're going to get negative 6. We proceed. So we're going to have this equation x squared. Now, where there was negative 6, we're going to split it using the factors. So we're going to have negative 4x and negative 2. We put the x. So negative 4x minus 2x will take us back to negative 6x. And we bring down this 8 like that. Now, at this stage, you can now factorize. So what is common here for these first two? So x is common. So x into x squared, x into negative 4x, we're going to have negative 4. So here, what is common? We can take out negative 2. So negative 2 into negative 2x, so we're going to have x remaining. Negative into positive, we're going to have negative 2 into 8, we're going to have 4 equals to 0. Now we're going to have two pairs. Let's get first one of the twins. So we're going to get one of these and then get the ones that are in front. So we have x minus 2 equals to 0. At this stage, I believe we know what to do. We're going to equate this one to 0 and also this one to 0 because one of them is supposed to be equal to 0 or two of them. So we're going to have x minus 4 equals to 0 or x minus 2 equals to 0. So we're going to have x equals to 4 or x equals to 2. All right. So here, b comes first. So b will be equal to 2. And c will be equal to 4. All right. So those are our answers. So b will be equal to 2. And then c will be equal to 4. We we're not taught to write our answer in terms of coordinates. So if we're taught to write our answer in terms of coordinates, we're going to say b. Remember, it is x comma y, and here the value of y is 0. So b here it will be 2 comma 0. This one it will be 4 comma 0. Okay, that is how it was going to be if I thought they were asking for the coordinates for b and c. All right, so after that, let's move on to the second question, which says we need to find the turning point. Okay, so the turning point. Okay, we have this part too. Okay, the turning point is this point. Now this point has an x value and it also has a y value. Alright, so now the turning point is equal to, it has x comma y. That is how you write our coordinates. So here it is x comma y. Now how do we find the same x and how do we find the same y? So x is equal to negative b over 2a comma y is equal to 4ac minus b squared over 4a. We must be familiar with these formulas because they are very much important. Now when you reach here, you're just going to substitute. We don't know our a, b, and c yet. Let's find them. So we have a as 1, b as negative 6, and c as 8. Okay, so here to be negative, the b here in this case is negative 6 over 2 multiplied by a, which is 1 comma 4. A is 1 and c is 8, we close, minus b is negative 6, we squared over 4. A is 1. Okay, here we simplify. We're going to have the turning point as negative and negative. We're going to have positive 6 over 2 comma, let's look at this. 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 8, we're going to have 32. Now have a look at this part now. Don't say negative times negative to get positive and then you square the 6, so you're going to end up with a positive 36, but that's not how we do it. So in this case, before you multiply what is outside with what is inside, make sure the power has been sorted out. Just like this side, we were multiplying because here there is no power that is greater than 1. If there was 2 or 3 on top there, we're going to deal with the power first. Okay, so we're going to have negative 6 squared. So everything in the brackets should be like this, which will give us positive 36. So this alone is the same as 36. So this negative comes down and then this is 36. So that is how it will become a negative, because this one is outside, over 4. And then we simplify. So here we want to have 3 comma. Now what is 32 minus 36? So this one here will give us negative 4. So on top we want to have negative 4 over this 4 here. So 4 into negative 4 will give us negative 1. Now if you look at our turning point, it is actually making sense because it is x comma y. X is a positive and y is a negative. If we look at our xy plane here, the value of x is this side. So this side we have positive values for x, and this side we have negative values for y. So if the x value is this side, so it means that it's supposed to be positive. And then if the y value is this side, it means it's supposed to be negative. So you have a positive comma negative. It even makes sense. Now imagine if we had negative 3 comma negative 3. It wasn't going to line up because x is not a negative, only y is a negative. If it was negative negative, the only way we're going to accept, if I thought it was this side, so this side will be negative and this side will be negative. Okay, so our answer actually makes sense. All right, so this is how it is done. And remember, this is MK Tuition Center. Don't forget to invite your friends and families to MK Tuition Center. Remember, the exam has been changed, the exam setup has been changed. The topics remains the same, but how the questions are going to be asked this year will be a bit different, because there is an introduction in terms of the syllabus. So they are trying to close it, but instead of just closing it, they are trying to make it a bit complicated so that we align with the new syllabus a bit. Yes, so that's how it will be. For now, stay blessed and stay tuned.